Naruto Uzumaki is the most iconic shinobi in anime history, a character who left an undeniable mark on fans across the world. From his bold orange outfit, yellow blonde spiky hair, and whisker markings on his cheek, to his unshakable spirit and his loud Datebayo verbal tick, he embodies the kind of determination that defines the shonen genre itself. What makes him so memorable is the way his story resonates far beyond flashy battles, carrying themes of growth, friendship, and resilience. Let's take a look at the life of this legendary shinobi who still inspires new generations of viewers today, with a legacy that isn't fading anytime soon. Naruto's story began on the night of October 10th when he was born to Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, and Kushina Uzumaki, the 2nd Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. His parents gave him the name Naruto after Naruto Musasabi, the main character of Jiraiya's first book, making the legendary Sannin his godfather. The 3rd Hokage arranged for Kushina to give birth in a hidden location so her seal containing the Nine Tails could be preserved, with midwives and Anbu on standby. That plan didn't hold for long. Tobi tracked them down, killed the attendants, and seized the newborn, forcing Minato to step in and teleport him to safety. While Minato was gone, Tobi captured Kushina and ripped the Nine Tails out of her, and then set it loose on Konoha. Minato managed to save Kushina and place their child back in her care before heading off to defend the village. He fought Tobi, defeated him, and freed the Nine Tails from his control. But the threat wasn't over. Returning to his family, Minato realized the only way to stop the beast was to seal it inside Naruto, believing that one day his son would need that power to face Tobi again. Because the fox's chakra was too massive for an infant to contain, Minato split it into two, sealing the yin half inside himself and the yang half inside Naruto. Both he and Kushina, mortally wounded from protecting their son, spent their final moments telling him how much they loved him before passing away. Orphaned, he was left with only a monthly allowance from the village to cover his basic needs. He didn't know who his parents were and grew up under his mother's surname, as the 3rd Hokage Hiruzen Sarutobi wanted to shield him from Minato's enemies. Although Minato wished for Naruto to be seen as a hero, very few people looked at him that way. Most of the village, unaware of what really happened the night he was born, saw him as the container of the Nine Tails that destroyed their homes and took countless lives. Some went as far as to treating him as though he was the beast itself. To prevent further hatred from spreading, the 3rd Hokage made it forbidden to speak of the Nine Tails, but the damage was already done. Other children picked up on their parents' hostility and turned against him too. Growing up isolated pushed him to seek attention wherever he could, often through mischievous pranks. One small act of kindness came when he first met Hinata Hyuga at the academy enrollment day. She was being harassed by 3 bullies, and despite not knowing her, he stepped in to defend her. Outnumbered, he was beaten unconscious, and his red scarf was ruined in the process. When he came to, Hinata returned the scarf and thanked him, but he insisted she keep it, unknowingly sparking the start of her growing feelings for him. At the academy, he was taught by Irika Umino, who became a guiding figure and older brother type, pushing him to stay focused and work harder. He also met Sasuke Uchiha, another boy who carried loneliness. Naruto tried to bond with him, but Sasuke's skill and popularity only made him jealous. That turned into a one-sided rivalry, with Naruto determined to prove himself as Sasuke's equal and eventually earn his acknowledgement. Even with the hardships, he found comfort in small places, like the ramen shop in Ichiraku, where Teuchi and his daughter, Ayame, always welcomed him warmly as their favorite customer. Naruto's first real step as a ninja didn't exactly go smoothly. After failing to graduate from the academy, once again, he was approached by Mizuki, one of his instructors, who told him about the Scroll of Seals. Believing that learning a technique from the scroll will help him pass, he stole it and struggled to master the Shadow Clone technique. Iruka eventually tracked him down and realized that Mizuki had set him up. The truth came out when Mizuki attacked them, revealing that the Nine Tails was sealed inside Naruto, and insisting that Iruka despised him because of it. But when Iruka risked his life to shield him, Naruto saw the truth, fought back, and unleashed the multiple Shadow Clone technique to defeat Mizuki. That victory earned him Iruka's approval and, at long last, his graduation from the academy. Not long after, he befriended Konohamaru Sarutobi, the grandson of the 3rd Hokage, teaching him a mix of oddball and useful techniques. Soon, he was placed on Team 7 alongside Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno, under the leadership of Kakashi Hatake. During their introduction, he spoke about his hobbies, his love for ramen, and his dream of becoming Hokage. Kakashi wasted no time testing them with the bell challenge, telling the 3 to take one of the 2 bells he carried. Kakashi laid down the rules. Anyone who didn't snag a bell before noon will be skipping lunch as punishment. Naruto, instead of hiding like the others, charged in head-on, only to get shut down immediately. He then tries to be sneaky by attempting to eat the lunches while Kakashi is busy dodging Sasuke's attack, but before he could snag a bite, Kakashi caught him and tied him to a post while the others failed in their own ways. Kakashi decided to cut them some slack and give them another shot. He lets Sasuke and Sakura eat to regain their strength, but since Naruto broke the rules and tried to sneak food early, he stays tied to the post with nothing but his hunger. Before heading out, Kakashi makes it clear, if they share their food with Naruto, the whole team fails on the spot. The real lesson turned out to be about teamwork, something the group only realized when Sasuke and Sakura disobeyed Kakashi's orders and shared food with Naruto. Seeing that they cared more about each other than following instructions, Kakashi passed all of them. After a string of simple D-rank jobs, Naruto managed to secure a higher stakes C-rank mission, escorting a bridge builder named Tsunade to the land of waves. The task quickly proved to be more dangerous than advertised. On the road, the team was ambushed by the Demon Brothers, and Naruto froze in fear until Sasuke stepped in to protect Tsunade. Kakashi subdued the attackers, but Tsunade admitted that assassins were after him and that he couldn't afford proper protection. Even though the mission had turned into A-rank territory, far beyond the skill of fresh Genin, the team pressed on. Stung by Sasuke's criticism of his fear, Naruto cut his hand to force out the poison he'd been struck with, declaring to himself that he wouldn't back down again. When they reached the land of waves, they encountered Zabuza Momochi. The battle between him and Kakashi was overwhelming, and Naruto was tossed aside by one of Zabuza's water clones. Remembering his vow, he pulled himself together and joined Sasuke in freeing Kakashi from Zabuza's water prison. The fight ended with Zabuza seemingly killed by Haku, his masked accomplice, giving Team 7 a chance to continue their escort. Kakashi, suspicious that things weren't over, began training them in chakra control through tree climbing practice. Naruto struggled at first, but with advice from Sakura and a burning rivalry with Sasuke, he pushed himself to improve quickly. One day, he crossed paths with Haku, unaware of who he truly was. The two talked about their dreams and the importance of protecting precious people before parting ways. Soon after, Naruto finished his training but was left exhausted, so the team moved on without him the next morning. When he woke up, he hurried to rejoin them, only to find himself caught in the fight between Zabuza and Haku. Unfamiliar with Haku's demonic mirroring ice crystals, he entered the trap alongside Sasuke, but neither his shadow clones nor Sasuke's fire could break the mirrors. When Haku struck to finish him off, Sasuke shielded him and collapsed, appearing to die in the process. The shock triggered Naruto's first real surge of Nine-Tails chakra. The raw power shattered the ice mirrors, overwhelmed Haku, and broke his mask, revealing that he was the same boy Naruto had met before. Unable to kill him, Naruto hesitated, only for Haku to stop him and run out to save Zabuza from Kakashi's attack, sacrificing himself in the process. Enraged by Zabuza's cold disregard for Haku's sacrifice, Naruto confronted him, pointing out that Haku gave his life for someone he cared about. Those words pierced Zabuza, and in his final moments, he turned his blade on Gado and his men, cutting them down before dying himself. With the battle over, Sasuke recovered from his injuries, and the team finally completed their mission. The bridge Tsunade finished would be named the Great Naruto Bridge in honor of the boy who inspired hope in the land of waves. After Team 7 wrapped up a string of routine missions, Kakashi decided their performance in the land of waves was strong enough to enter them in the upcoming Chunin Exams, a set of rigorous ninja tests to promote Genin, low-rank ninja, to the intermediate Chunin rank. The announcement thrilled Naruto, since this was a chance to prove himself. Because they only recently graduated from the academy, the three of them felt they needed to deliver standout performances to be taken seriously. Upon entering the exam hall, they were greeted by Rock Lee, who quickly challenged Sasuke to a fight. Out of jealousy, Naruto tried to attack Lee himself, but he was brushed aside with ease. The fight ended when Might Guy appeared, and Naruto couldn't help but take notice of the bandages on Lee's arm as a sign of his intense taijutsu training, while also taking the chance to mock Sasuke for not being able to defeat him. The first stage of the exam was a written test with hidden the objective of cheating without being caught. Not realizing this, Naruto struggled from the beginning. Sitting next to Hinata, he was offered a chance to copy her answers, but he turned her down, afraid they'd both be disqualified. Towards the end, the proctor, Ibiki Morino, raised the stakes with the 10th question. Any Genin who attempted it and failed would be barred from ever taking the exam again, though forfeiting would disqualify the whole team. Faced with the decision, Naruto refused to back down, determined to continue despite the consequences. His determination motivated the others to stay as well, and Ibiki revealed that their resolve had been the real test all along. They passed. though Naruto was the only one to hand in a blank paper. The second stage was held in the Forest of Death. Each team was given one scroll and tasked with collecting the opposite scroll to advance. During the challenge, Naruto was separated from his teammates and swallowed by a giant snake, but he managed to kill it and regroup. Together, Team 7 faced Orochimaru, who had infiltrated the event to plan a coordinated invasion of Konoha with Tsunade, as well as assess Sasuke, who he intended to make his next host body. The fight shook Sasuke so badly that he nearly gave in to fear, which pushed Naruto to act. Tapping into the Nine-Tails chakra, he fought Orochimaru's summoned snake and tried to push Sasuke to snap out of it. Orochimaru eventually suppressed the Nine-Tails chakra by applying the 5-element seal, leaving Naruto unconscious and also branding Sasuke with a cursed seal. When Naruto woke, the team continued their mission and secured the second scroll after defeating Team Oboro, allowing them to advance to the next round. In the preliminaries, Naruto was matched against Kiba Inuzuka and his dog Akumaru. Kiba underestimated him and opened the fight with overwhelming speed, dominating early. Naruto turned the tide by disguising himself with the transformation technique, tricking Kiba into knocking Akumaru out of the match. He then threw Kiba off balance with an unexpected move before finishing him with the Naruto Uzumaki combo, a variation of Sasuke's lion combo. Later, when Neji faced Hinata, Naruto grew furious at Neji's harsh words towards her and cheered her on, though she was ultimately defeated. Afterward, he wiped up her blood and promised that he would be the one to defeat Neji in the finals. During the month of training before the finals, Naruto first trained under Ibisu but ended up meeting Jiraiya, who quickly took over as his teacher. Recognizing him as the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, Jiraiya lifted Orochimaru's seal to improve his chakra control and started teaching him how to harness the Nine-Tails' power by summoning toads. Naruto's progress was slow until Jiraiya forced him into a life-or-death situation by pushing him off a cliff. In his subconscious, he confronted the Nine-Tails, demanded chakra from it, and succeeded. With the sudden surge of power, he summoned Gamabunta, though the effort left him hospitalized from exhaustion. During his recovery, he was visited by his fellow recent graduate Shikamaru, and the two intervened when Gaara and Tsunade attempted to kill Rock Lee, who was confined in the next room due to severe injuries he sustained during his fight with Gaara in the preliminaries. They listened to Gaara's story, which Naruto immediately related to, but the situation nearly escalated until My Guy stepped in and forced Gaara to leave. When the day of the finals arrived, Naruto met Hinata at the third training ground. He admitted his doubts about facing Neji, but Hinata encouraged him by pointing out that he has always pushed through failure and never gave up. Her words inspired him, and he told her that he appreciated her support. Against Neji, he opened the fight with a flood of shadow clones, but was quickly outmaneuvered. Neji neutralized his chakra with his 8 trigram 64 palms and dismissed him as a failure. Determined to prove him wrong, Naruto once again accessed the Nine-Tails chakra and launched a fierce counterattack. When the dust settled, it looked like Neji had won, but Naruto revealed that what Neji defeated was only a clone. The real him emerged from underground and delivered a decisive uppercut. With his victory, he told Neji to stop letting the idea of fate dictate his life, reminding him that weaknesses could become strengths. Later, Sasuke arrived for his match against Gaara. Naruto, envious of his rival's growth, could only watch until the exam was interrupted by Orochimaru's right-hand man, Kabuto Yakushi. When the invasion of Konoha began, Naruto and most of the audience were put to sleep by Kabuto's genjutsu, marking the start of the Konoha Crush, where Orochimaru began initiating his plan to destroy Konoha Gakure. Sakura woke Naruto so they could chase after Sasuke, who was already pursuing Gaara, who was taken away by Kankuro and Temari since his injury rendered him useless for the planned invasion. Wanting to finish the fight with Gaara, Sasuke follows the three. Naruto, Sakura, Shikamaru, and Kakashi's Ninkin Pakken followed their trail. They arrived just in time for Naruto to kick Gaara away before he could finish Sasuke off. Gaara, partially transformed into Shukaku, quickly turned the tables by knocking Sakura unconscious and binding her to a tree. That left Naruto no choice but to face him directly, though at first, his attacks did little to break through Gaara's defense. Even as he fought, he couldn't ignore the similarities between their lives as Jinchuriki. Still, that connection wasn't enough to stop him. He wasn't about to let Sakura Sasuke die here. Determined to protect them, he unleashed a massive number of shadow clones, overwhelming Gaara with relentless attacks. The pressure pushed Gaara to fully transform into Shikaku, forcing Naruto to raise the stakes by summoning Gamabunta. With Gaara giving complete control to Shukaku by putting himself to sleep, Naruto and Gamabunta had to find a way to stop the rampage. They decided to transform into a giant fox, allowing them to restrain Shukaku long enough for Naruto to land a heavy punch on Gaara's face, jolting him awake. The full transformation collapsed, but Gaara still managed to trap Naruto with sand. Drawing on the Nine-Tails chakra, he broke free and charged in close, landing a headbutt that shattered Shukaku's form. Both fighters, drained of energy, went for one final clash. Naruto's punch landed, ending the battle. The two fell to the ground, too exhausted to move. Despite that, Naruto crawled towards Gaara and shared his own story. His lonely and painful life had only changed because he found friends worth protecting. That bond gave him strength, and he would fight to defend it, even if it meant killing Gaara. Hearing this, Gaara understood where that strength came from. Shaken but enlightened, he retreated to Kankura with Tamari, carrying a new outlook with him. Naruto, completely worn out, passed out and was carried back to Konoha with Sasuke and a rescued Sakura. A few days later, Team 7 attended the funeral of the third Hokage who died after attempting to seal Orochimaru. Konoha mourned the loss of their leader while the village tried to recover from the attack. After the failed invasion of Konoha, the ninja of Tsunade searched for their missing fourth Kazekage. They eventually discovered his body and the bodies of his attendants in the desert, realizing that Orochimaru had killed him and impersonated him to manipulate Tsunade into supporting the invasion. With the truth exposed and the village left in ruins from heavy losses they suffered, Tsunade surrendered unconditionally. Konoha accepted the surrender, but the village now faced the problem of having no leader. Back in Konoha, the elders approached Jiraiya, one of the third Hokage's former students, and asked him to become the fifth Hokage. He turned the position down, saying Tsunade, another one of the third students, would be a better fit. Since no one knew where she was, Jiraiya volunteered to find her on the condition that he could take Naruto along. The elders agreed, and when Jiraiya promised to teach him a new technique that could surpass Sasuke's Chidori, Naruto was all in. With that, the two set out on their journey. During a stop at an inn in Tsukuba town, Naruto was confronted by Kisame Hoshigaki and Itachi Uchiha from the Akatsuki, who were after the Nine-Tails. When Sasuke arrived and recklessly attacked his brother, Naruto tried to help by drawing on the Nine-Tails chakra, but Kisame's Samehada sword drained it away. Jiraiya showed up soon after and forced the two Akatsuki to retreat, though Sasuke was left both physically and mentally shattered by his encounter with Itachi, who infamously murdered the entire Uchiha clan, including his own family, leaving him the sole survivor. Before heading back to the village, Might Guy appeared, carried Sasuke home, and even handed Naruto a spare green jumpsuit of his own. Knowing Akatsuki would strike again, Jiraiya began training Naruto to master the Rasengan. He managed to complete 2 of the 3 steps, but struggled with the final one. While taking a break, he and Jiraiya tracked down Tsunade and her assistant Shizune at a restaurant. Tsunade refused the position of Hokage and even insulted the title itself, which set Naruto off. He attacked her with an incomplete Rasengan and was easily defeated. Still, his determination caught her attention, and she proposed a bet. If he could master the Rasengan in a week, she'd give him the first Hokage's necklace, but if he failed, she'd get his wallet. Naruto agreed, trained relentlessly, but eventually collapsed from exhaustion without fully completing it. When he recovered, he went with Jiraiya and Shizune to stop Tsunade from meeting Orochimaru. They arrived in time to see her fighting Kabuto, having never truly intended to side with Orochimaru. When she was immobilized, Naruto stepped in and fought Kabuto himself. Using a shadow clone, he managed to form a completed Rasengan and land a decisive hit, though the strain tore his heart muscles and left him on the ground. Tsunade quickly healed him, honored the bet by giving him the necklace, and finally accepted the title of Hokage. With Orochimaru and Kabuto driven off, Naruto and the others returned to Konoha. Tsunade, now the fifth Hokage, carried with her a strong belief that one day Naruto would rise to the role himself. After Orochimaru's invasion left Konoha short on Jonin, Tsunade had no choice but to send Genin on tougher missions. Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke were tasked with escorting a Wasabi family member during an important race, with Kakashi absent on another mission. On the way, they met a cocky team named Idate, who conned them at a restaurant and showed off his speed. When they finally reached the land of tea, Naruto was shocked to find out that Idate was the one they were supposed to protect. The two clashed often, especially as Idate revealed his grudge against shinobi. During the race, their group faced interference, including the Ame Genin and a dangerous enemy named Aoi Rukusho. Aoi was a former Konoha ninja and Idate's old teacher, the one who tricked him into betraying the village. After a brutal attack left him shaken, Idate admitted his past, and Naruto, relating to his struggles, pushed him to keep going and regain his confidence. Later, Aoi reappeared wielding the Thunder Sword, overwhelming Team 7. Sasuke managed to weaken the blade with his Chidori, giving Naruto the opening he needed. He countered with a Rasengan, shattering the sword and defeating Aoi. With the threat gone, Idate pushed forward and secured victory in the race for the Wasabi family. At the ceremony, attempts to discredit the win backfired, leading to the downfall of the rival Wagarashi family. On the way back to Konoha, Ibiki quietly acknowledged that Naruto had played a big role in helping his younger brother grow. Naruto visited Sasuke in the hospital after the mission, but the reunion turned into a challenge when Sasuke demanded a fight. What started small escalated fast, with Naruto pulling out his Rasengan and Sasuke charging up his Chidori. Before their clash could land, Kakashi stepped in and redirected their attacks into nearby water towers. Neither realized it at the time, but Naruto's Rasengan had done more damage than Sasuke's Chidori, which only pushed Sasuke further into frustration. Sakura later told him about the curse seal Orochimaru had placed on Sasuke, and while Naruto insisted his teammate would never betray Konoha for power, Sasuke eventually left the village to seek strength from Orochimaru. His thirst for revenge on his brother Itachi began to drive him down a dark path, even if it meant siding with Orochimaru in exchange for immense power. Determined to bring him back, Naruto joined the Sasuke recovery team and promised Sakura that he would succeed. Along the way, his comrades were forced into battles against Orochimaru's Sound 4, while he himself clashed with Kimimaru. Despite being completely outmatched, he was saved by Rock Lee, who stayed behind to fight so Naruto could continue chasing Sasuke. He finally caught up to Sasuke at the Valley of the End. Naruto pleaded with him to turn back, warning what would happen if he gave himself to Orochimaru, but Sasuke refused to listen. Forced to fight, they pushed each other to the limit, Naruto drawing on Nine-Tails chakra, Sasuke advancing his curse seal. Their rivalry came to a peak when a Rasengan and Chidori collided, ending in a devastating clash. Sasuke struck Naruto down, but spared his life, leaving behind his scratched forehead protector as he walked away. Kakashi arrived too late, taking Naruto back to the village in defeat. In the hospital, Naruto repeated his promise to Sakura that he would bring Sasuke home someday. Soon after, Jiraiya approached him with an offer to train for 3 years in preparation for Orochimaru and the Akatsuki. Naruto accepted the training, but made it clear he would never give up on Sasuke, a resolve that Jiraiya respected. Naruto eventually set off with Jiraiya to begin 2.5 years of training, marking his departure with a determined gesture at the 4th Hokage statue in the manga. In the anime though, this moment was delayed by about 3 months since Jiraiya was busy gathering intel on the Akatsuki. While waiting, Tsunade kept him occupied with missions alongside different members of Konoha 11 so he wouldn't sit idle. Not long after finally leaving the village in the anime, Jiraiya explained that he would need to learn how to counter Genjutsu if he ever wanted a chance against Sasuke again. To start, he trained with Gamariki, but his attempts at dispelling Genjutsu went poorly. His chakra ended up striking Gamariki instead, leaving the toad less than thrilled. Hoping for better results, Jiraiya brought him to the Genjutsu Tree Village, only to find out that it had been overtaken by Kendachi. After freeing the villagers, he faced Kendachi head-on and managed to defeat him with his newly created Big Ball Rasengan. Afterwards, Jiraiya admitted how much he reminded him of Minato, even pulling him into a hug, which left him feeling a bit uncomfortable. 2 years into the training, his control over the Nine-Tails chakra had grown much stronger. To push things further, Jiraiya attempted to weaken the 8 trigram sealing style with the help of Guratora, giving him greater access to the fox's power. The Nine-Tails took advantage of this, mocking him over his failure to save Sasuke and feeding on his frustration until he transformed into a 4-tailed version 2 state. Completely out of control, he turned his attacks on Jiraiya and nearly killed him before being suppressed. When he came to, he remembered nothing, and Jiraiya chose not to tell him the truth. Instead, the training shifted towards other goals, with a stronger emphasis on keeping his emotions steady so the Nine-Tails' influence wouldn't consume him again. After 2.5 years of training, Naruto came back to Konoha alongside Jiraiya. The first thing that caught his eye was Tsunade's newly carved statue on Hokage Rock, which definitely came as a surprise. He quickly reconnected with his old friends, gifting Kakashi a copy of Icha Icha Tactics, noticing he grown taller than Sakura, and even jumping back into his ridiculous sexy technique rivalry with Konohamaru, only to get smacked down by Sakura for it. Soon after, Kakashi reformed Team 7 and put them through another bell test. Unlike before, getting the bells was the real goal this time. He opened with a sudden strike that almost worked, and though both he and Sakura had improved a lot, neither of them could manage to grab the bells outright. They only succeeded after distracting Kakashi with the threat of spoiling the newest Icha Icha novel. Team 7 struggled to find a mission that didn't frustrate him, but before long, urgent news came in. The Akatsuki had kidnapped Gaara, who is now the Kazekage. The team was immediately sent to Tsunagakure to help. On the way, he explained that Gaara was targeted because of being the One-Tails Jinchuriki, the same way he carried the burden of the Nine-Tails. Once they arrived, he even had to step in to protect Kakashi when Chiyo mistook him for his father. After gathering what intel they could, Team 7 prepared to track Gaara down. Since they weren't familiar with the terrain, Chiyo decided to accompany them, and before leaving, he made a promise to a recovering Kankuro that they would bring Gaara back. While heading to the Akatsuki lair, the group was intercepted by Itachi. He fell under a genjutsu, but was quickly freed by Sakura and Chiyo, after which he fought alongside Kakashi and landed a big ball Rasengan that seemed to finish Itachi. It was soon revealed to be a mere imposter, so the team pressed forward until they linked up with Team Guy. With the barrier over the lair brought down, Team 7 entered and found Deidara and Sasori waiting with Gaara's body. Deidara immediately fled with it, drawing both Naruto and Kakashi into pursuit, while Sasori remained behind to fight Chiyo and Sakura. The chase left him furious, and despite throwing everything he had at Deidara, he couldn't manage to save Gaara. Kakashi had to step in with his newly awakened Mangekyo Sharingan, using Kamui to pull Deidara into another space. The distraction worked just long enough for Naruto to recover Gaara's body, but seeing his friend lifeless sent him over the edge. He lost control and beat Deidara's clone into the ground before realizing it wasn't the real one. His rage triggered a partial transformation into the two-tailed form, but Kakashi suppressed it with his seal and brought him back to normal. Deidara managed to escape, leaving the group to regroup with Chiyo, Sakura, and Team Guy. When they finally confirmed Gaara was dead, Sakura tried everything to revive him, but couldn't reverse the damage caused by Shukaku's extraction. The sight broke Naruto down, and his grief turned into anger towards Chiyo for making Gaara a Jinchuriki in the first place, only for it to cost him his life. To atone, Chiyo used her life to bring Gaara back, with his chakra added to hers to fuel the technique. Before the end, she placed her trust in him, believing that he could one day save Gaara and even become Hokage. When Gaara opened his eyes again, Naruto was there to greet him. A few days later, both Team 7 and Team Guy attended Chiyo's funeral in Tsunagakure. Before returning to Konoha, Naruto and Gaara shook hands, Gaara using his sand, sealing the bond between them as not just fellow Jinchuriki, but as true friends. During Sakura's fight with Sasori, she picked up on some valuable intel. A spy working under Orochimaru was willing to meet at the Tenchi Bridge in just a few days. The hope was that this could finally bring them closer to finding Sasuke. With Kakashi bedridden after his battle against Deidara, leadership of Team 7 shifted to Yamato. To fill Sasuke's spot, Sai was brought in as the new member. Naruto's first impression of Sai wasn't exactly warm. He saw him as a cheap replacement for Sasuke, while Sai openly embraced the comparison and even mocked Sasuke for leaving Konoha. The tension escalated until Yamato had to step in with wood release to stop them from tearing each other apart. Naruto was constantly irritated by Sai's lack of empathy and his casual insults towards Sasuke, but in the end he chose to tolerate him, if it meant having a chance at saving his friend. At the Tenchi Bridge, Yamato disguised himself as Sasori to meet the supposed spy, while the rest of the team stayed hidden. The spy turned out to be Kabuto, who began leaking details about Orochimaru's operations. The meeting was cut short when Orochimaru himself appeared. Team 7 was forced into action, and Orochimaru quickly recognized Naruto, taunting him about Sasuke's choices. The taunts hit a nerve. Naruto lost his composure and lashed out, drawing on the Nine Tails' power. His rage only deepened as the fight dragged on. The chakra cloak consumed him, destroying the Tenchi Bridge as he pushed further into the transformation until he reached his four-tailed state. At that point, he couldn't distinguish allies from enemies, and when Sakura tried to get close, he struck her without realizing it. Yamato stepped in, pinning him down with wood release, and suppressed the Nine Tails. By the time he was calmed, his body had been torn apart by the corrosive chakra. Sakura healed his injuries, and when he woke up, he was confused by the destruction around them, with no memory of what he'd done. Meanwhile, Sai had slipped away to side with Orochimaru and Kabuto. Yamato revealed to Naruto privately that he was the one who attacked Sakura, urging him to rely on his own strength rather than letting the Nine Tails control him. Following Yamato's tracking jutsu, they tracked Sai to Orochimaru's base and captured him. Restrained, Sai asked why Naruto was so determined to save Sasuke, which led Naruto to explain the importance of his bond with him. Hearing this made an impression, and Sai chose to cooperate instead of continuing his mission. He even helped the team capture Kabuto, and then search the base for Sasuke. While Sai was gone, Yamato went through his belongings and found orders from Danzo that revealed Sai's original mission: assassinate Sasuke. When Sai regrouped with them, he explained that he no longer intended to follow that plan and wanted to genuinely help. He then guided them deeper into the base, where they finally came face to face with Sasuke. The reunion didn't go the way that Naruto and Sakura hoped. Sasuke showed no emotion, brushing them off as if their bond meant nothing. When Naruto tried to insist that saving him was part of his path to becoming Hokage, Sasuke swiftly overpowered the group, making it clear how far apart their strength had grown. As Naruto fought to resist the Nine Tails, Sasuke invaded his subconscious, using the Sharingan to suppress the beast entirely. He then prepared to finish them all off, but Orochimaru intervened, persuading Sasuke to leave without killing them. Defeated and frustrated, Naruto was crushed by the failure to bring Sasuke back. Sakura reminded him that they had to become stronger if they wanted any hope of succeeding. With no other choice, Team 7 returned to Konoha, carrying the weight of another unsuccessful attempt. In the succeeding filler arc, Naruto kept having nightmares about the Nine Tails breaking free, but there's no time to dwell on them. Team 7 heads out on a mission near the Fire Temple. Naruto clashes with Sora, a monk in training who also uses wind chakra. At first they butt heads, but Naruto notices how isolated Sora is and tries to connect with him, seeing a reflection of himself. Their mission grows dangerous when enemy ninja raid the temple tombs and bring back the corpses of the guardian shinobi. The attackers plan to use them to unleash a massive lightning technique capable of wiping out Konoha. As the invasion unfolds, Naruto keeps pushing forward, fighting deadly opponents like Fuka, who can use all 5 elements and tries to drain his chakra. Things spiral when Sora is revealed to be a pseudo-Jinchuriki, infused with leftover Nine-Tails chakra from years ago. Unable to control it, Sora loses himself to the beast's power. Naruto refuses to give up on him, even as the Nine-Tails cloak threatens to overwhelm them both. By forcing himself to stay in control, he manages to reach Sora and pull him back from the edge. With the crisis over, Sora decides to leave Konoha behind to travel the world, while Naruto continues his training for the battles still ahead. Once Kakashi is finally out of the hospital, he brings Naruto, Sakura, and Sai together to go over their failed attempt to bring Sasuke back. He makes it clear that the only way that Naruto can ever hope to catch up to Sasuke is by creating a brand new jutsu. Training starts right away, and that's when Naruto learns that his chakra nature is wind. Normally, this kind of training would take months, even years, but Kakashi points out a loophole: Naruto's shadow clones. If he trains with hundreds of them at once, everything they learn funnels straight back to him, cutting down the time drastically. With Kakashi's guidance and Yamato setting up specialized training grounds, he makes rapid progress in learning to use wind chakra. The real challenge comes when he tries to combine that wind nature with the Rasengan. Both Minato and Kakashi had failed at this, and Naruto hits the same wall. His frustration even causes the Nine-Tails chakra to flare up, forcing Yamato to keep it under control. After several failed attempts, Kakashi helps him figure out a solution: 2 shadow clones. One clone helps shape the Rasengan, while the other infuses it with wind chakra. Just as he starts to get the hang of it, news arrives that Asuma had been killed by the Akatsuki. Training pauses so that they can attend the funeral. Kakashi then joins Team 10 to help them face Asuma's killers, while Yamato continues supervising Naruto. When Team Yamato finishes the jutsu, they head out and arrive in time to save Kakashi and Team 10 from Kakuzu. Naruto steps up to fight and unveils his new technique: Wind Release, Rasen Shuriken. His first attempt fizzles out and nearly costs him his life, but Kakashi and Yamato pull him back. On the second try, he lands the attack successfully, shredding 2 of Kakazu's hearts and nearly finishing him. Kakashi deals the final blow, and the team heads back to Konoha. The victory isn't without consequence. The Rasen Shuriken caused severe damage to Naruto's arm, and the technique is immediately banned from use because of the risk that it poses to his body. Naruto is brought in when Konoha learns that Orochimaru's people are after the Three Tails. He links up with Yamato, Sai, and Sakura to support Team 8, and along the way, they discover that the beast is the true target. Once Tsunade sends more reinforcements, everyone splits into groups, some handling sealing, some guard, while Naruto joins Kakashi, Sai, and Shino on the front line to deal with the fighting. When the 4-corner sealing barrier starts to work, Gurren disrupts it, causing the Three Tails to lash out at everyone. Yukimaru briefly calms it, but once his strength fades, the beast turns its fury back on him. Naruto and Gurren jump in to protect the boy, but end up swallowed whole. With the help from the others outside, they escape, but the second sealing attempt falls apart when Yukimaru loses control and the beast goes on a rampage. Naruto fights back alongside his allies, eventually driving it off with a combination jutsu, the Wind Release Toad Oil Flame Bullet. After the failed mission, the sealing of the beast is left to the Anbu, and Naruto returns to Konoha. Later, the Three Tails is confronted by Deidara and Tobi of the Akatsuki. Naruto isn't there for that fight, but the outcome seals the beast's fate, is dragged away to the Akatsuki lair and imprisoned inside the demonic statue. News spread through Konoha that Sasuke has killed Orochimaru. With Orochimaru out of the way, Kakashi sees a chance to try and bring Sasuke back, so he merges Team 7 and Team 8 into an 8-man squad. Their mission is to track down either Sasuke or his assumed target, Itachi. The squad split up to cover more ground. Since the Akatsuki is still after him, Naruto is assigned extra protection. He moves with Hinata, Yamato, and Bull as his escort, while the others search elsewhere. During the search, his group comes across Kabuto. Kabuto reveals that he absorbed Orochimaru's remains and now carries part of him within his own body. He explains that seeing Naruto's determination gave him the resolve to try moving beyond Orochimaru's control. As a gesture of thanks, he offers them intel on Akatsuki and its members. Before anyone can act, Kabuto slips away and vanishes, leaving the team to continue their hunt. After regrouping with the squad, Kiba picks up on Sasuke's trail. To speed things up, Naruto creates a number of shadow clones to search the area more effectively. One of those clones ends up running straight into Itachi. Instead of fighting seriously, Itachi brushes aside the attacks and makes it clear that he only wants to talk. He asks what Sasuke means to Naruto, and what he plans to do if Sasuke ever turns against Konoha. Naruto responds that Sasuke is his brother, and that if even Sasuke threatens the village, he'll defend it without going so far as to kill him. Pleased with this answer, Itachi gives him unexpected help. He summons a crow and stores it inside Naruto's body, though he doesn't explain why. With that done, Itachi disappears, leaving Naruto to continue the mission. The search pushes forward until they get close to Sasuke's location, but before they can reach him, Tobi of the Akatsuki blocks their path. His strange ability makes him invulnerable to every attack, stopping the squad from advancing and keeping Naruto from reaching Sasuke. The group keeps pressing their attacks against Tobi, but he slips past every move with almost no effort. Naruto tries multiple times to land a Rasengan, yet each attempt passes through him without making contact. No matter how many angles they try, nothing works. At one point, Tobi even attempts to counter with a hidden technique of his own, but it doesn't go through, leaving him unfazed and still in control of the situation. The standoff continues until Zetsu arrives, bringing urgent news. He reports that Sasuke and Itachi's battle has reached its end. On hearing that Sasuke has killed Itachi, Tobi immediately withdraws. With him gone, the combined squad rush to find Sasuke before Tobi can reach him, but they fail to track down his location. Unable to discover where Tobi has taken him, the team has no choice but to return to Konoha empty-handed. Team 7, now Team Yamato, is sent to guard Hotaru, the heiress of the Tsuchigumo clan, after her guardian is attacked. When they find her, she refuses to accept Konoha's protection, but Sai tricks her into relying on Naruto. He takes responsibility for watching over her, though he senses something is off about how her own village treats her. The mission grows more complicated when Urukata, a missing nin with ties to Hotaru, gets involved. Naruto works alongside him to fend off attackers from the Magaki group, while also trying to keep Hotaru safe. Tensions rise when Urukata clashes with Kirigakure Anbu, who arrive to capture him, forcing Naruto and his team to step in. The conflict is put on hold so long as Hotaru is under their care, though Urukata makes it clear that he won't return to the mist. Naruto later discovers the truth about Hotaru. Her clan sealed a dangerous kenjutsu into her body at her own request, hoping it would someday restore her clan's status. While she clings to that dream, he is disturbed by the toll it takes on her. He supports the idea of destroying the technique for her sake, even when she hesitates. Things spiral when Naruto tries to seek out Shiranami, a supposed ally, but instead walks into a trap. The Magaki group capture him, using a Fuinjutsu to drain his chakra. Even under their restraints, he unleashes the Nine-Tails chakra and fights back, resisting their attacks longer than they expected. Eventually, Shiranami reveals himself as the true enemy, manipulating Hotaru and controlling the villagers. Naruto joins forces with Urukata to break through and save her. In the end, his team parts ways, leaving Hotaru in Urukata's care, unaware that pain is already closing in to claim the Six Tails. Naruto was still mulling over his strange encounter with Itachi when he was summoned to the Hokage's office. There, he received the devastating news Jiraiya had been killed by pain. The loss crushed him. He lashed out at Tsunade in anger and then spent the day drowning in grief, blaming himself that his master would never see him achieve his dream. It was only after Iruka and Shikamaru reached out to him that he was able to regain some focus. Together with others, he worked to decipher the dying message Jiraiya left behind, eventually unlocking the clue that tied directly into Pain's identity. Realizing his teacher had given his life to buy him time, he decided to grow stronger and train in Senjutsu at Mount Myoboku. With the Toads as his guides, he learned to balance nature energy, using shadow clones to speed up the process. His progress was remarkable. He achieved Sage Mode, something even Jiraiya never perfected. That training was soon put to the test when the news of Pain's assault on Konoha reached the mountain. Naruto and the Toads were summoned straight into the ruined village, where they faced 6 paths of Pain head-on. He immediately cut down the Asura path before it could strike Tsunade, then cleared out Animal, Preda, and Human before his Sage Chakra ran out. With a closed station at Mount Myoboku to recharge, he kept the fight going, defeating more paths until Pain's Deva path regained full strength. The tide shifted. Fukasaku was killed, and Naruto was captured and pinned. While restrained, he listened as Pain explained his vision for peace through fear and weapons. Naruto rejected the idea, but couldn't yet give a real answer in return. Things escalated when Hinata rushed in, confessed her love, and fought to protect him. Believing she was killed in front of him, his rage exploded, pushing him into his six-tailed state. The transformation shattered the first Hokage's necklace, and he completely lost control, forcing Pain to drag the battle outside the village and trap him in Shibaku Tensei. The Nine Tails still pushed against the prison, reaching 8 tails, and in his mind, the beast tempted him to break the seal. At that critical moment, Minato appeared, revealing himself as his father and the one who had sealed the Nine Tails inside him. Overwhelmed, angry, and relieved all at once, he confronted his father, but Minato assured him that he had the strength to find a new path. After repairing the seal and leaving Naruto with renewed determination, Minato's presence faded. Reassured that Hinata was alive and no villagers had been harmed during his rampage, he launched back into the battle. With clever use of shadow clones, he finally destroyed the Deva Path with a Rasengan, ending the fight. Following a chakra signal from one of Pain's black receivers, he tracked down Nagato's hideout and finally discovered Pain's real identity. Hearing Nagato's story, he came to understand his pain, but chose not to kill him, vowing instead to create the better world Jiraiya had hoped for. Touched by his resolve, Nagato sacrificed his life to revive all those who had died during the attack. Naruto then helped Konan with Nagato and Yahiko's burials, and she gave him paper flowers as a token of their new bond. Back in Konoha, he built a small memorial for Jiraiya, placing the flowers and a copy of the Tale of Utterly Gutsy Shinobi by a stone marked Teacher. Exhausted, he made his way back, only for Kakashi to carry him the rest of the way. When he entered the village, he was met with cheers and gratitude from everyone. Finally, he was acknowledged as the hero of Konoha. After Jiraiya's death and Pain's attack, things in Konoha kept shifting. Sakura broke the news to Naruto that Tsunade had fallen into a coma after using all her chakra to heal everyone who was harmed during Pain's destructive assault, and there was no way to wake her. While they were talking, they ran into Zuna and Inari, who had come to help rebuild the village. They asked about Sasuke, but he avoided the subject to spare both of them and Sakura the pain of revisiting his defection. Not long after, word spread that Danzo had been named Hokage, and one of his first orders was for Sasuke to be killed as a traitor. Naruto and Sakura tried asking Sai if there was any way to convince Danzo otherwise, but he couldn't offer help. Their conversation was overheard by Omoi and Karui from Kumugakure, who were after Sasuke for helping the Akatsuki capture Killer B. Wanting to protect Sakura, he took him aside. Rather than give up Sasuke's location, he let them vent their anger by beating him, enduring Karui's blows until Sai stepped in and forced them to leave. Still determined, he asked Yamato and Kakashi to take him to the Land of Iron so he could plead with the Raikage. The request was rejected outright, and the Raikage scolded him for defending a criminal. At the end afterwards, he was confronted by Tobi. Instead of answering Tobi's questions about Nagato, he demanded answers about Sasuke. Tobi revealed the truth about the Sage of Six Paths, the Uchiha, and the massacre, explaining that Sasuke's rage was now pushing him towards vengeance against Konoha and the world itself. Tobi declared that he and Sasuke were destined to fight, then disappeared. While practicing Sage Mode sensory skills, he was interrupted by Sakura, Lee, Kiba, and Sai. Sakura falsely confessed her love to convince him to let go of Sasuke, but he saw through the lie and refused, saying his bond with Sasuke had nothing to do with promises to her. After they left, Sai's ink clone revealed the rest of the Konoha 11 had decided to kill Sasuke themselves, and that Sakura intended to do it personally. Soon after, Gaara arrived from the Five Kage Summit. He explained Tobi had declared the Fourth Shinobi World War, and that Sasuke was now their enemy. He advised Naruto to decide for himself what was right. Overwhelmed by the weight of his friends turning against Sasuke, Naruto collapsed. When he came to, Yamato told him Kakashi had gone to stop Sakura from confronting Sasuke alone. Naruto escaped using a clone and caught up just in time to save her. He tried to reason with Sasuke, acknowledging his pain and Itachi's sacrifice, but Sasuke was unmoved. He declared his resolve to destroy Konoha and proudly declared that he had already killed Danzo, being the one behind the Uchiha clan's downfall. Their clash of Rasengan and Chidori showed Naruto how easily he could have chosen the same path, yet he admitted that he was glad to have met Sasuke despite their rivalry. Sasuke gave him two choices, kill or be killed. He refused both. Tobi and Zetsu arrived to retrieve Sasuke, and before leaving, Naruto declared that if they fought again, it would end with both of their deaths, but he was willing to carry Sasuke's hatred. Sasuke vowed to kill him first. After they left, Naruto and his team returned to Konoha, with Karin as their captive. He explained everything to his friends and made it clear, the fight with Sasuke would be his alone, and he needed to become stronger to face it. With the threat of another war hanging over the world, Tsunade sends Team 7 on a mission to investigate a massacre linked to a strange place called The Hole. While paired with Sakura at a spring, Naruto runs into Kabuto, who uses the water's strange properties to create a clone of Hidan. A fight breaks out, and Naruto ends up swallowed by one of Kabuto's giant snakes. He escapes with shadow clones, but accidentally ingests Kabuto's snake, which stay inside him. Later, while helping protect orphans with Sakura and Shiseru, he gets kicked by one of the kids who mistakes his forehead protector as belonging to the attackers. Even so, he saves them from falling off a bridge and slowly earns their trust. But the snakes inside him become a bigger problem. Miina, one of the orphans, senses it and forces them out of his body, which creates a clone of Naruto in a terrifying four-tailed state. This rampaging version attacks everyone, forcing Guy, Lee, and eventually the rest of Konoha 11 to jump in. When the clone targets him, the Nine Tails feeds it more chakra, pushing things further out of control. Naruto falls unconscious and faces the Nine Tails again inside his mind, but with Doku's encouragement, he regains his resolve. When the clone absorbs more power and mutates into a Hydra-like beast, he nearly gives in to the Nine Tails' influence, until Minato's voice pulls him back. He awakens in a new form, gains control, and destroys the clone. With the crisis averted and the Ama no Hoko sealed again, he celebrates with the children he helped protect. Later, he receives a letter from Doku showing that the orphans were adopted, the power resealed, and life finally beginning to heal. Naruto was later summoned by Fukasaku back to Meow Myoboku. There, the great Toad Sage delivered a prophecy that he would one day meet an octopus and fight a young man with powerful eyes. Things got even heavier when Garotora showed up with the key to the 8 trigram seal. Knowing he would need the Nine Tails' power for what's coming, he accepted it without hesitation. He was then sent back to Ichiraku, where a few villagers even asked for his autograph, unaware that the 5 Kage were making plans to keep him away from the looming 4th Shinobi World War. For his safety, Tsunade gave him an S-rank mission that would take him to a remote island in the Land of Lightning. Yamato, Guy, Aoba, and a team of Konoha shinobi went with him for security. Once there, he finally met Killer B, the 8-Tails Jinchuriki. Impressed by B's control over his beast, he asked to train under him, but B wasn't interested, insisting he was on vacation. Even with Naruto's persistence, he refused. It wasn't until Motoi heard that Naruto and B had bumped fists that things shifted. Motoi took him to the Falls of Truth, the place where B trained to master 8-Tails. Following Motoi's instructions, he meditated in front of the waterfall and confronted his true self, Dark Naruto. This side of him lashed out, claiming the villagers had only recently changed their minds about him and that the Nine Tails liked him better. They fought inside his mind, but neither could overpower the other. Shaken, he broke out of the meditation and turned to Motoi, wanting to know more about B's past to figure out how to overcome his inner darkness. Thinking about how B and Gaara had managed to earn respect despite their struggles, he started to doubt if Konoha's trust in him was real. But after watching B save Motoi from a giant squid and repair their friendship, he found clarity. Returning to the falls, he faced Dark Naruto again, this time with real faith in himself. He reached out and accepted his other side. Dark Naruto faded away, leaving him stronger than before. B then led him and Yamato to a hidden temple behind the waterfall, where he prepared to face the Nine Tails directly. Inside his subconscious, he broke the seal and clashed with the beast, using Sage Mode to gain an edge. At first, he managed to pull out some of its chakra, but the fox quickly turned it against him, flooding him with its hatred. Just as it was about to consume him, his mother Kushina appeared. At first, he thought that she was the Nine Tails in disguise, but she quickly set him straight. Realizing it really was his mother, he embraced her, and the overwhelming love between them burned away the fox's hatred. Kushina told him the truth about his parents, the Nine Tails' attack, and the sacrifices they made to protect him. With her guidance, he fought again, this time managing to strip the fox from his chakra. Gaining full control, he sealed the weakened beast away with a new, stronger lock. In his new Nine Tails chakra mode, he apologized to the fox before it vanished into the dark. He then shared a heartfelt moment with Kushina, telling her he finally understood what parental love felt like and that he was glad to be her son. As she faded, she thanked him for letting her and Minato be his parents. Back in the real world, he showed off his new form to B and Yamato, only to suddenly sense Kisame hiding inside Samehara. When Kisame tried to flee, Naruto blitzed him into a wall, though he got his foot stuck in the process. Yamato pulled him free while B chased down Kisame, who was later defeated by Guy. Captured for interrogation, Kisame broke free through sheer willpower, trapping himself in a water prison filled with sharks before letting them devour him alive. Watching Kisame sacrifice himself, Naruto realized that even Akatsuki members had bonds they were willing to die for. The intel Kisame left behind was also rigged, trapping Naruto and the others inside another water prison with a shark, while a second shark escaped with the real data. After escaping, Naruto went back to his mission, which included evacuating the giant animals into the island turtle shell and recording its ecosystem. Unbeknownst to him, this assignment was just a cover to keep him out of the war. Back at the Falls of Truth, Naruto started training with B to master his Nine-Tails chakra mode, focusing on learning the tailed beast ball. Since he couldn't form one without the Nine-Tails' cooperation, he worked on a workaround, the tailed beast Rasengan. Balancing the jutsu wasn't easy, and while struggling, he suddenly sensed a distant source of the Nine-Tails chakra. Curious, he left the waterfall to investigate. Outside, he ran into a group of Konoha nin, with Iruka among them. Iruka tried to stop him and convince him to continue training, but Naruto broke past and used Sage Mode to confirm what he suspected. The Fourth Shinobi World War has already begun. Furious that the truth was being kept from him and that he wasn't being allowed to help, he clashed with Iruka. Even though Iruka apologized, he still tried to hold him back. Naruto escaped but soon found himself trapped by a self-repairing barrier. At Iruka's request, B joined in, and together they smashed through. That's when the Nine-Tails dragged him into his subconscious again. The fox mocked him for wasting its chakra and told him that he was naive to think that he could stop the war alone. It tried to tempt him with power, but when that failed, it used his bond with Sasuke as proof that ending hatred was impossible. Naruto pinned the beast down instead, calling it the one who was being naive, and declared that he would find a way to save Sasuke and end the war. Before leaving, he even promised to deal with the fox's hatred someday, leaving it unsettled. On the road to the battlefield, he and B were intercepted by the 4th Raikage and Tsunade. Both were determined to stop the Jinchuriki from joining the fight. B argued with his brother to let them through, but when that didn't work, Naruto tried to dodge his way around. The Raikage's lightning release chakra mode was too fast, and he pushed harder, even threatening to kill Naruto to keep the Akatsuki from catching the Nine-Tails. With B and Tsunade backing him up, Naruto argued for his right to fight. The Raikage only relented when Naruto successfully dodged his full-speed strike. Soon after, Shikaku contacted him under Tsunade's orders, giving him intel on the Akatsuki's White Zetsu army, and the revived shinobi brought back through the impure world reincarnation. Not long after, Naruto and B ran into a squad that looked like the allied forces. But with his chakra sensing, Naruto identified them as Zetsu in disguise, and took them out quickly. He then created shadow clones and sent them to other battlefields to lend support. Moving forward, they encountered the reincarnated Itachi and Nagato. After a brief exchange, Kabuto forced them to fight. Nagato gave warnings about his jutsu, while Itachi remembered the crow he had planted inside Naruto during their last meeting. Activating it, the crow's Mangekyo Sharingan used Kodo Amatsukami to free him from Kabuto's control. Itachi joined the battle against Nagato, nullifying his summons and saving Naruto and B from near death. Nagato, his personality suppressed, tried to trap them with Chibaku Tensei. The three combined forces to destroy it, and while Nagato was distracted, Itachi sealed him with Susanoo. His true self returned for a moment, long enough to apologize and entrust his hopes to Naruto. Afterward, Itachi destroyed the crow, knowing that his power was too dangerous to leave behind, and left to find Kabuto to end the reincarnations. Before departing, he told Naruto to rely on his friends and leave Sasuke's redemption to him. Meanwhile, one of Naruto's clones arrived at the battlefield where the 4th Division faced multiple reincarnated Kage. With a sneak attack, he gave the 3rd Tsuchikage an opening to seal Mu before anything could be revealed. The Tsuchikage then joined Gaara against the 2nd Mizukage, while Naruto took on the 3rd Raikage alongside the division. Like the 4th Raikage, the 3rd was incredibly fast. Most attacks missed and the few that landed barely did any damage. His defenses were overwhelming and he tore through every attempt to contain him. When Naruto noticed an old scar, he contacted the Eight Tails through B to learn its origin. The truth was that the Raikage had given it to himself during a fight with the Eight Tails years earlier. Using this, Naruto baited him into stabbing his own body, creating an opening for the division to seal him. After regrouping with Gaara and the Tsuchikage, Naruto pressed on with B, while his shadow clones spread across other battlefields. In the anime, these clones had several notable encounters. One saved the Sasuke recovery team from the revived Sound Force space-time technique. Another gave closure to Tatewaki by updating him about the children he once protected. Another reunited briefly with Yota and gave him peace before returning to the afterlife. And yet another helped Omoi save the Thundercloud unit. Naruto's shadow clones spread across the battlefields, securing the revived shinobi, exposing Zetsu infiltrators, and cutting down what was left of the White Zetsu army. Victory looked close until the Sensor Division picked up two massive presences near the 4th Division, Mu, who had split before being sealed, and the reincarnated Madara Uchiha. The sight of Madara left everyone stunned, and questioning who the masked man Tobi truly was. There wasn't time for answers. Madara launched into battle immediately, tearing through the 4th Division and shrugging off attacks from Naruto's clone, the Tsuchikage, and Gaara. He escalated further by summoning a meteorite to crush them. As the survivors regrouped, Madara attempted to summon the Nine Tails. The effort failed, but Kurama sensed it, and choosing Naruto over Madara, offered some of its chakra to aid the fight. The clone used this power to counter Madara's nativity of a world of trees with big balls spiraling spiral zone spheres. The prolonged battle exhausted the clone, leaving it open to capture until Tsunade, the 4th Raikage, and the 5th Mizukage arrived. The 5 Kage declared they would take on Madara themselves, asking Naruto to focus on Tobi. With that, the clone dispersed, and the real Naruto moved in on Tobi's position. He and B were immediately confronted by Tobi's reincarnated Jinchuriki, controlled like a new version of the 6 Paths of Pain. During the fight, Naruto pointed out the other Madara already on the battlefield, pressing Tobi on who he really was. Tobi dismissed his identity as meaningless, but Naruto vowed to rip away his mask regardless. B shifted into Tailed Beast mode to level the forest terrain, but attempts to steal the Jinchuriki failed when Tobi forced them into version 2 forms. Their power pushed Naruto and B back, and Tobi nearly captured Naruto until Kakashi and Guy arrived, evening the fight. The reinforcements didn't slow Tobi down. He escalated by forcing the 4 Tails and the 6 Tails into full Tailed Beast mode. The 4 Tails managed to swallow Naruto whole, allowing him to speak directly with the beast. It introduced itself as Son Goku, bitter about Tobi's control, but doubtful Naruto would be any different, since humans had always tried to dominate the tailed beast. Naruto's determination to help struck a chord, and Son told him how to break free. He destroyed the black receiver controlling it, earning Son's thanks and a portion of its chakra before it was pulled back into the demonic statue. Losing one tailed beast pushed Tobi to unleash the rest in tailed beast mode. Kurama reminded Naruto that he couldn't win without his help. This time, Naruto didn't try to force it. Instead, his resolve to help Son and his countless selfless acts convinced Kurama to finally fight alongside him as a partner, asking only that he call it by name, Kurama. Entering full-tailed beast mode, he deflected the combined tailed beast balls of the others, countering with his own. With Kurama's avatar, he wrestled the beasts down and tore out their black receivers. That contact let him connect with each one, learn their names, and receive pieces of their chakra, just as he did with Son. Tobi recalled them into the demonic statue, clearly frustrated but still competent. The fight dragged into the night, and he failed to break Naruto, B, Kakashi, and Guy. Then, light struck the Jinchuriki, releasing them back to the afterlife, proof that Itachi had ended Kabuto's control. Running low on options, Tobi fed the demonic statue with the Beni Hisago and Kohaku no Johei, which contained pieces of Kurama's chakra, along with a fragment of Gyuki's chakra he had stolen earlier. It was enough to start reviving the Ten Tails. The group tried to stop it, but Tobi's teleportation and intangibility slowed them at every turn. Watching the battle, Kakashi noticed a link between Tobi's ability and his own Kamui. To exploit it, he had one of Naruto's clones attack, then warped it with Kamui without Tobi realizing. When Tobi slipped into Kamui's dimension to dodge a tailed beast ball, he ran into the clone waiting for him. The Rasengan shattered his mask, revealing him as Obito Uchiha, their old comrade thought long dead. Obito brushed aside questions about his motives and launched an attack, drawing Madara, who had slipped free from the impure world reincarnation, to their location. When Naruto asked about the Kage, Madara coldly said that they were in bad shape when he left them. Hearing Obito and Madara discuss their manipulation of Nagato drove Naruto into a rage, but Madara countered him easily and pressed to capture both him and B. While he and B wrestled with Madara's wood dragon, a clone focused on snapping Kakashi out of the shock of Obito's return. Obito tried to convince Naruto that resistance was pointless, but Naruto's belief in protecting his friends inspired Kakashi to rise back up and push Guy to create an opening. Together, they launched a combined tailed beast ball at the demonic statue. Though it was too late, the Ten Tails was reborn. Naruto, B, Kakashi, and Guy regrouped and coordinated attacks, but the Ten Tails' raw power was overwhelming, especially with Madara and Obito sinking with it. Just as they were about to be crushed, the remaining allied shinobi forces arrived. From headquarters, Shikaku coordinated an offensive that briefly restrained the beast, but it retaliated by obliterating the command center, killing Shikaku and everyone inside. The Ten Tails then rained wooden skewers across the battlefield, wiping out countless shinobi. One was about to impale Naruto when Hinata shielded him, and Neji shielded her in turn. Mortally wounded, Neji collapsed against him, telling him to be careful because everyone's lives, especially Hinata's, now rests on him. His final words were thanks for being called a genius long ago. Neji's death devastated Naruto, and Obito tried to exploit his grief, saying more needless sacrifices would follow unless the world was remade. Hinata snapped him out of despair, reminding him of everyone who had fought to protect him, and how giving up would dishonor them. Taking her hand, he passed Kurama's chakra into her, then spread it across the entire allied forces, bolstering their power and shielding them. With that unity, they pulled together into a bird-shaped formation, breaking the Ten Tails free from Obito and Madara's control. Stripped of the beast's support, Obito targeted Naruto, mocking him for wasting energy protecting others. Naruto countered that it was protecting them that made him strong, which reignited the army's spirit. As the Ten Tails prepared another massive strike, Kakashi tried to counter with Kamui, only for Obito to block him and drag them both into another dimension, leaving everyone else exposed to Tenchi. Kurama's chakra shielded the army, though Naruto was badly hurt in the aftermath and needed Sakura's healing. The Ten Tails charged a tail beast ball at the weakened army, but before it landed, it was warped away. At Naruto's side appeared his father, Minato. Moments later, the first, second, and third Hokage arrived as well, summoned back by Orochimaru at Sasuke's request. They erected a barrier around the Ten Tails, and Sasuke himself joined them, having chosen to oppose Obito and Madara. Even the rest of the Rookie Nine set aside their differences and fought together against the beast. At Sai's suggestion, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura summoned their animals, with Naruto calling on Gamakichi and struck directly at the Ten Tails. He and Sasuke burned through one of its arms with a combined attack, though the beast simply tore it off to stop Amaterasu's flames. Before they could strike again, Obito returned, landing on the Ten Tails' head and beginning a jutsu. Minato rushed in to stop him, but realized too late that Obito wasn't reviving Madara, he was sealing the Ten Tails into himself, becoming its Jinchuriki. Obito, now the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, shattered the Hokage's barrier, forcing them to divert their energy into direct combat. With their immortal bodies, they rushed in first to test Obito's abilities, but were quickly overpowered. Naruto and Sasuke tried to step in but nearly lost their lives, saved only when Naruto linked chakra to Minato so he could teleport them away. They regrouped and launched a combined assault, with Minato and the second Hokage coordinating their teleports to make the attack land. Obito blocked most of the damage with his truth-seeking balls, and regenerated from what did get through. From his observations, Minato concluded that Obito could nullify regular ninjutsu. Gamakichi jumped in with his starch syrup gun before returning to Mount Myoboku, giving Minato a chance to appeal to Obito's old dream of becoming Hokage. Obito dismissed the title, claiming he had long surpassed it. Naruto, angered both as son and as someone who still held that dream, struck him with a Rasengan, noticing it actually damaged him. He realized Obito was vulnerable to Senjutsu. With his weakness exposed, Obito trapped the alliance in a barrier and charged several tailed beast balls to wipe them out. Minato couldn't teleport everyone in time, so Naruto came up with another plan. He linked his chakra with Minato and reconnected the alliance in a Minato's Flying Thunder God network, allowing Minato to teleport them all out safely. Proud of his son, Minato admitted he wished they had more time, but Naruto assured him it wasn't necessary, since his mother had already told him everything he needed. Father and son both entered Tail Beast mode, and Naruto merged with his Sage mode, empowering their joint Rasengan with Senjutsu. Even with the second Hokage's teleport support, Obito defended with his truth-seeking balls. To move his plan forward, Obito grew a replica of the God Tree, which started draining chakra from everyone around. Naruto nearly succumbed until the third Hokage saved him. Obito used the mounting deaths as proof that resistance was pointless, and Naruto wavered until Sasuke, unimpressed by Obito's words, cut into the tree with Susanoo and pushed him to snap out of it. Recharged by his determination to protect everyone, Naruto pressed on with Sasuke. Together, Naruto's Senjutsu enhanced Tailed Beast mode and Sasuke's Susanoo managed to compete with Obito, though not enough to finish him. To shift the balance, Sasuke wrapped Susanoo around Naruto's Kurama avatar, giving it armor and a sword. Sensing the decisive clash, Obito forged his own sword and shield from truth-seeking balls. Naruto loaded each of Kurama's tails with a Rasengan, his friends guiding them in unison to shatter the shield. Naruto and Sasuke then struck with their sword, slicing Obito and forcing the tail beast out of his body. This struggle linked Naruto's consciousness with Obito's. Naruto reminded him of his past, pointing out their shared hardships and dreams. Obito admitted their similarities, but insisted his vision of the future was the only clear one. Naruto countered that uncertainty was part of living with comrades and extended his hand to Obito. The alliance pulled the tail beast free, and Obito collapsed defeated. Minato and Kakashi stayed behind with him, while Naruto and the others shifted focus to Madara. They fought alongside the first Hokage, but Madara's backup plan activated. Black Zetsu forced Obito to revive him. Madara broke free, disabled the first, and held off Naruto, Sasuke, and Sai while targeting the free-tailed beast. Naruto went tail beast mode to help, but once Madara had regained one Rinnegan, he crushed their resistance with Limbo Border Jail and resealed all the beasts into the demonic statue. Kurama and Gyuki were torn from Naruto and B, leaving Naruto critically weakened. His Uzumaki lineage kept him alive, but Sakura had to maintain constant medical support to keep him stable. Following Kurama's last advice, Gaara rushed him to Minato, who still had the other half of Kurama sealed inside him. To buy time, Kakashi warped Naruto and Sakura into the Kamui dimension, where Obito eventually joined them. Having broken free of Black Zetsu's control, Obito decided to atone by giving Naruto Minato's half of Kurama. At the edge of life and death, Naruto met Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the Sage of Six Paths. Hagoromo explained the ancient conflict with his mother Kaguya, and how it passed down through generations via his son's reincarnations. Naruto carried Asura's chakra, while Sasuke carried Indra's. Because of Madara's threat, Hagoromo entrusted Naruto with the Six Paths Yang power, half of his chakra, and the Six Paths Sage Mode, asking him and Sasuke to stop Madara together. Revived, Naruto rushed back to the battlefield, stopping Madara from killing Guy and stabilizing his life after the Eight Gates nearly destroyed him. Wielding new powers, Naruto unleashed a lava-release Rasen Shuriken powered by Son Goku's chakra, cutting down the massive tree. Sasuke arrived soon after, and the two worked together, overwhelming Madara. Running out of options, Madara stole Kakashi's Mangekyo Sharingan and pursued Obito. Sakura was also sent into the Kamui dimension, but was unable to help. Naruto restored Kakashi's eye using Hagoromo's power before Madara returned with both Rinnegan restored and Black Zetsu in control of Obito. The battle escalated again, with Madara countering their assaults easily. Rising into the sky, he launched countless Chibaku Tensei and cast the infinite Tsukuyomi. Naruto destroyed the orbs while Sasuke shielded their small group from the Genjutsu's light. When it ended, they emerged to a world ensnared in the God Tree's roots. As Madara declared his victory, he was suddenly betrayed. Black Zetsu stabbed him, forcing him to absorb the world's chakra and transform into Kaguya Otsutsuki, the true mastermind behind everything. Kaguya immediately recognized Naruto and Sasuke as the reincarnations of Asura and Indra, and realized Hagoromo had given them the strength to stop her. Not wanting to destroy the world with their battle, she dragged them into one of her dimensions, placing them above a massive sea of lava. Sasuke called out his hawk Garuda to save himself and Naruto, but chose not to help Sakura, Kakashi, and Obito, insisting only he and Naruto mattered in this fight. Kakashi managed to stall their fall, though the heat burned through his scroll. At the last second, Naruto figured out that he could levitate, saving them and leaving a shadow clone behind to keep the others safe while he fought Kaguya. He created an opening for Sasuke, but Sasuke's attack failed and nearly cost him his life, if not for Naruto pulling him out of the lava. Their moves weren't landing, and the environment itself was dangerous, so they took a moment to plan. Before they could, Kaguya appeared behind them, paralyzed both, and let Black Zetsu bind them while she drained their chakra. Black Zetsu used the chance to twist Hagoromo's earlier story, claiming Kaguya was betrayed by her sons and that it had worked for centuries to bring her back. It urged them to give in, but Naruto broke free, freeing Sasuke as well. To buy time, he used his ultimate distraction, the sexy reverse harem technique. It caught Kaguya off guard long enough that they nearly sealed her, but she quickly regained control, froze them in place, and separated Sasuke into another dimension, so she only had to deal with Naruto. While she manipulated the ice-filled dimension against him, one of Naruto's clones explained to Kakashi, Sakura, and a recovered Obito that both his and Sasuke's powers were required to end her. Obito volunteered to use Kamui to explore different dimensions and search for Sasuke. To help him, Naruto unleashed the Naruto region combo to overwhelm Kaguya, pushing her into retreat. When she shifted into another dimension, Obito, Sakura, and the Shadow Clone followed. The clone fought her to keep her busy, while the others searched for Sasuke. Kaguya returned to the Ice Dimension, where Naruto and his clones kept her occupied until Obito and Sakura brought Sasuke back. Annoyed, Kaguya switched the battlefield again, this time to a dimension with crushing gravity. She tried to finish them off with all-killing ash bones, but Kakashi and Obito blocked the attack. Obito shielded Kakashi with Kamui, leaving himself exposed. Naruto tried to heal him, but not even Hagoromo's power could save his life. Before passing, Obito thanked him for reminding him of who he was, and asked him to become Hokage for both of their sakes. Naruto promised, and Obito's body crumbled away. Black Zetsu mocked him for living a meaningless life, which enraged Naruto. He tore off Kaguya's arm, pinning it, and Black Zetsu hiding inside, with his truth-seeking balls. Naruto then launched Sage Art Super Tailed Beast Rasen Shuriken, forcing the Tailed Beast chakra inside Kaguya to react and destabilize her body. She barely pulled herself together and created an expansive truth-seeking ball to erase them. Kakashi stepped in, wielding a Susanoo gifted by Obito's spirit, and opened a path for Naruto and Sasuke. As Kaguya tried to flee, Sakura struck her, locking her in place long enough for Naruto and Sasuke to activate 6 paths Chibaku Tensei. The tailed beasts were pulled from her, Madara was free, and Kaguya was sealed inside her own dimension. Naruto made sure Black Zetsu was trapped with her, calling it a spoiled brat with no place in shinobi history compared to the people who actually shaped it. With the battle over, Team 7 wondered how to return. Hagoromo, aided by the souls of the past Kage, summoned them back along with the tailed beast and Madara. Both Hagoromo and the tailed beast thanked them. Naruto greeted his original Kurama, who denied missing him despite being flustered. Madara's body gave out, and Naruto shared a brief but heartfelt goodbye with Minato, who wished him a happy 17th birthday and promised to tell Kushina everything. The other dead Kage also voiced their pride before returning to the Pure Land. Hagoromo explained that the infinite Tsukuyomi could only be done by combining Naruto and Sasuke's chakra. Sasuke agreed, but declared that before ending the Genjutsu, he would kill the Kage and eliminate the tailed beast, believing that both stood in the way of peace. He quickly captured the tailed beast in separate Chibaku Tensei. Hagoromo recognized it as a continuation of the old Indra-Asura feud, but had no strength left to intervene. Sakura tried to reach Sasuke, but was knocked out, leaving Naruto to follow him. The two clashed at the Valley of the End, the same place they had fought years before. Sasuke argued that he would carry the world's burdens alone, something Naruto refused to accept. He pointed out how Itachi's lonely path ended and reminded Sasuke of the teamwork that brought them this far. Sasuke claimed he wanted to remake the world, bearing all the hard choices by himself, calling that the true role of a Hokage. Naruto refused, saying Sasuke's vision still went against Itachi's wishes. Their battle began with a fierce exchange of blows, quickly escalating into Susanoo vs. Tailed Beast mode. Sasuke criticized Naruto for refusing to fight with intent to kill, but he stayed true to his resolve. The clash of Naruto's Tailed Beast Ball and Sasuke's Susanoo Enhanced Chidori caused a massive explosion, damaging both avatars. They powered up again, Sasuke with the chakra of the captured beast, and Naruto by combining with clones. Their second clash wiped away both avatars, leaving them drained. With little chakra left, they switched to taijutsu, trading punches deep into the night. Kurama managed to give Naruto one last bit of chakra, which Sasuke absorbed. Expecting that, Naruto landed a decisive punch. Still frustrated, Sasuke pushed his Chidori against Naruto's Rasengan for their final attack. Both collapsed afterward, waking to find much of the valley destroyed, each missing an arm and too weak to move. Sasuke reflected that Naruto had always stood in his way, yet he was the only one who never abandoned him. Naruto admitted it wasn't just friendship. Losing Sasuke would leave him in pain unlike anything else he had endured. For the first time, Sasuke accepted defeat, acknowledging Naruto's bond with him. Kakashi and Sakura found them, with Sakura healing their wounds but unable to restore their arms. Once on their feet, Naruto and Sasuke undid the infinite Tsukuyomi and freed the tailed beast. With the war over, Naruto returned to the village. He joined the funeral for those lost and, in the anime, met Gaara and A, who thanked him personally. Shikamaru later brought him to the academy to see Kakashi and Iruka. Kakashi considered promoting him to Jonin, but since he never retook the Chunin Exams, he was told he needs 2 years of study first. Though disappointed, he was comforted when Iruka offered to help him through it. Months after the Fourth Shinobi World War, Sasuke was pardoned thanks to Naruto speaking on his behalf and Kakashi supporting him. Kakashi was later chosen to become the 6th Hokage. Before Sasuke set out to wander the world, Naruto caught up to him and handed back his forehead protector. Naruto's story didn't end there. In the first book of the Naruto Hidan series, his life kept moving forward. Nearly a year after the war, he and Sai headed to the Land of Waves to take down Garyo, leader of the Ryuha Armament Alliance. Within the next 2 months, he finally received a prosthetic arm to replace the one he lost during his final battle with Sasuke. Not long after, Kakashi officially accepted the Hokage position after missions involving the Ryuya Armament Alliance and the Blood Prison. In Shikamaru Hidan, Naruto's role in shaping the future became clearer. Shikamaru, now the chief coordinator of the Shinobi Union, pointed out that he was a prime candidate for Hokage someday, but he would need to get used to the heavy responsibilities that came with leadership. A few days later, Temari approached him, worried about Shikamaru's strange behavior and asking if he knew where he was. He didn't, and when he checked with Choji and Ino, neither of them knew either. Pressing Kakashi for answers, Naruto finally learned Shikamaru was on a secret mission in the Land of Silence. Determined to help, he joined Team Temari and her Suna squad to back him up. Once there, they questioned the locals and discovered Shikamaru had been captured by the Enlightened Ones. Naruto and the team stormed the prison, freed him, and helped complete his mission by capturing the country's leader, Gengo. Afterward, Naruto told Shikamaru to never keep secrets from him again, since their future Hokage-advisor relationship depended on trust. Shikamaru apologized and promised. While Shikamaru returned to Konoha, Naruto stayed behind with the other shinobi from Konoha and Suna to help stabilize the Land of Silence. Then came the last, Naruto the movie. By this point, he was the village hero, showered with gifts during the Rinne festival by excited kids across Konoha. To ease the attention, Konohamaru took him to his grandfather's storage, where he found a scarf Kushina had knitted for him before her death. He treated it like a precious treasure and wore it around the village. When he tried to talk to Hinata about all the attention he'd been getting, she grew flustered and ran off, confusing him enough that he chased after her, only to stumble on the puppets attempting to kidnap her. After saving her, they learned Hanabi had already been taken by Toneri Otsutsuki, and a team was quickly formed to rescue her. Kakashi also warned them that the moon itself was on course to crash into Earth, and they need to stop Toneri if he was involved. Following Hanabi's trail led them into a cave filled with genjutsu shaped from their memories. Naruto saw glimpses of his past alongside Hinata's, realizing how deeply she always cared for him, and finally came to terms with his own feelings for her. Sakura freed them from the illusion, and they continued on. When Hinata later vanished from the group, Naruto tracked her down, finding her speaking to a disguised Toneri. He defeated the puppet easily, but Hinata refused to reveal what they had discussed. Determined not to let her out of his sight, he stayed close as they moved deeper. Eventually, the team made it inside the moon's interior and split up to investigate the settlement there. While regrouping, he noticed Hinata repairing her scarf and worrying about her sister. He reassured her and confessed his feelings, but Toneri interrupted before she could answer. Handing Naruto the scarf, Hinata departed with Toneri, leaving him shocked. Convinced she was being forced, Naruto chased after them, only for her to remain silent when Toneri claimed they would marry. Shaken, he couldn't react as Toneri attacked, destroyed the scarf, and left him critically wounded. After 3 days under Sakura's care, he woke up but was devastated, thinking Hinata had chose Toneri. Sakura reminded him that Hinata's actions were rooted in her love for him, and she had her own reasons. Strengthened by this, he resolved to save her. The team infiltrated Toneri's castle, with Naruto breaking up the wedding ceremony. Controlled by Toneri, Hinata attacked him, but he freed her from his influence and escaped with her. She then showed him the Tensegan behind the moon's descent. Separately, they couldn't destroy it, but together they managed to shatter it. After regrouping, she gave him a piece of the scarf she had knitted, which he cherished. When they tried to leave, Toneri appeared with new power, separating the group and taking Hinata again. Naruto fought him head-on, concentrating all his chakra into one strike that defeated Toneri in a single blow and freed her. When Toneri attempted one last desperate attack, he lost control of his power, and Naruto intervened, saving him from drifting into space. Regretful, Toneri accepted the truth about Hamura's decree and allowed them to return home. On the way back, Naruto expressed his love for Hinata, saying he wanted to be with her for life. She was overjoyed, and they shared their first kiss. Their love story grew in Sakura Hidan and Konoha Hidan, culminating in their wedding. Friends and comrades gathered to celebrate. Since his parents couldn't be there, Naruto asked Iruka to attend in his father's place, which Iruka gladly accepted. On the day of the ceremony, Naruto kept Minato in his thoughts, gazing at the Hokage rock before he and Hinata walked forward together to start their new life. After marrying Hinata, Naruto's life moved fast. He became a father, welcomed Boruto and Himawari into the world, and then took on the massive role of the Seventh Hokage. Despite still technically being a Genin, he succeeded Kakashi and stepped into the position. As Hokage, he hosted a Kage summit in Konoha, where Sasuke warned of a threat greater than Kaguya, something Naruto chose to keep quiet about to avoid panic. Balancing work and family proved rough. At Boruto's academy entrance ceremony, his son damaged the Hokage rock, leaving him embarrassed, but he softened when he heard that Boruto was having a positive impact on others. Around this time, strange chakra attacks broke out across the village. He investigated non-stop, to the point of exhaustion, and confided in Hinata about his struggles as both Hokage and a father. He even tried to steer Boruto away from danger. It was Boruto's determination and the faith of others like Shino that convinced him to trust his son more. The culprit turned out to be Sumire Kage, and after New threatened Konoha, Naruto fought to contain it. When Boruto's actions helped Sumire turn herself in, he agreed to pardon her. Soon after, Naruto assisted Sasuke in dealing with Shin Uchiha. He protected Sarada, the only child of Sasuke and Sakura, when Shin targeted her, even taking a wound in the process. When Sarada questioned her parentage, Naruto reminded her that her bonds weren't just about blood. His word helped her reconcile with Sakura and Sasuke after the conflict ended. Life didn't get easier. His duties often kept him from family events like Himawari's birthday, creating tension with Boruto. When Sasuke returned with information on a new threat, Naruto also had to deal with the Chunin Exams. Boruto entered, but Naruto was disappointed when he caught his son using a forbidden tool. He disqualified him in front of the crowd, leading to a heated clash between father and son. Their argument was cut short when Momoshiki and Kinshiki attacked. Naruto risked everything to shield Boruto and the village, ultimately letting himself be captured. Trapped and drained of Kurama's chakra, he realized his own distance as a father had pushed Boruto into cheating. When Boruto arrived to save him, he was proud to see his son's growth. Fighting alongside Sasuke and Boruto, he joined in the final Rasengan that defeated Momoshiki. In the aftermath, he acknowledged Sasuke had won their bet about shinobi, but also reaffirmed that he would always be there for Boruto as his dad. After becoming Hokage, Naruto had his hands full keeping the peace together. He first sent the new Generation Team 7 led by Konohamaru to Hozuki Castle after a prisoner named Kokiri gave intel on the Majuna bandits. When things went south and contact with the prisoner warden was lost, he dispatched Sai and backup, making sure Kokiri was safely brought to Konoha. His role as Hokage wasn't just missions. The politics kept piling up too. At a Kage summit, tensions flared, with Korotsuchi demanding Konoha reveal its secrets to prove trust, or else Iwagakure would break away. Shikamaru explained later that she was being pressured into war by her daimyo, which weighed heavily on Naruto. He didn't want another generation dragged into conflict. Despite his efforts to push for peace, the next summit spiraled into chaos, with Darui and Kurotsuchi on the verge of starting a war. When Shikamaru even threatened Kurotsuchi himself, Naruto had to snap him out of it, furious at how quickly things were falling apart. Still, the work didn't stop. After the Majuna bandits were captured, Naruto turned his focus on the Kara organization. He was disturbed to hear about Victor's twisted experiments and Kara's network of spies. But instead of closing Konoha off, he reinforced security while keeping ties with the outside world. He wanted cooperation, not isolation. Naruto's worries became personal when Kawaki entered the picture. Despite warnings, he decided to take responsibility for the boy himself, and even bring him home. That led to clashes, arguments, and bonding moments with Boruto and Himawari, showing Kawaki he could have a family. He personally trained him, gave him a prosthetic arm fueled by his own chakra, and kept pushing him to see that he had a place in Konoha. Those decisions dragged him right into Kara's crosshairs. Delta stormed his home, forcing Naruto to fight while protecting the kids. Even holding back, he completely overwhelmed her, proving why he was still the strongest around. But the real test came with Jigen. Naruto and Sasuke fought him at full strength, but even together they were beaten. Jigen sealed Naruto away, only for Boruto and Kawaki to rescue him later. The threat didn't end there. Isshiki Otsutsuki arrived, forcing Naruto into his ultimate gamble, Baryon mode. The form burned through most his and Kurama's energy like fuel, but it was enough to cut Ishiki's lifespan and bring him down. The cost was Kurama's life. Naruto survived but lost the fox's power, left to stand as Hokage without the strength he relied on for years. After Ishiki's defeat, Naruto woke to the crushing reality that Kurama was gone. For the first time in his life, he couldn't feel the fox's presence, and the weight of that loss hit harder than any battle wound. But as Hokage, he didn't have the luxury to dwell. The village still looked to him for strength. He reorganized the Chunin Exams to boost morale and even acted as a proctor, keeping a close eye on the Genin's growth. He invited Kawaki to watch the finals, a step that sparked Kawaki's interest in becoming a shinobi. Though Shikamaru doubted him, Naruto insisted that Kawaki needed real missions and teammates to grow. After some rough starts, Kawaki finally earned his place as a Genin under his watch. When trouble in the Land of Water drew in Konoha teams, Naruto monitored events closely. After the conflict, he praised Boruto's efforts and encouraged him to mend ties with Kawaki. Watching the two clash but reconcile reminded him of his own bonds. He even took his family and Kawaki on a short vacation, using small moments to make sure Kawaki felt included. Later, he assigned Kawaki to protect Princess Kei at the academy. Despite setbacks, Kawaki succeeded, and Naruto recognized the growth in him. At the same time, Naruto faced heavier concerns: Code's threat, Amato's secrets, and Boruto's unstable karma. He pushed for the Kage summits, weighing risky solutions like Amato's pills, and continued to support his son despite the danger of Momoshiki taking over. The battles ahead tested him further. He rushed to Kawaki and Boruto's side when Momoshiki resurfaced, refusing to abandon them even without Kurama. He watched in shock as Kawaki's new karma awakened, and nearly broke when Boruto let himself be struck down to stop Momoshiki. Naruto was relieved when his son revived, but tensions with Kawaki only deepened. Even as Code and Ada's schemes grew, he tried to keep Konoha steady, but Kawaki's devotion to protecting him went too far. Believing Naruto's life came before all else, Kawaki used Daikokuten to trap him and Hinata in suspended time, sealing them away for safety. For the next 3 years, Naruto and Hinata stayed unconscious, frozen in time inside Daikokuten's dimension, only accessible when Kawaki chose to visit. Because of Kawaki and Ada's actions, Boruto ended up framed as the one who killed the 7th Hokage following Naruto's disappearance. With the truth hidden from everyone outside Konoha, the village was left furious, and the people turned their anger towards Boruto.